Alright, so what are we calling this?
I don't know. Betrayal session number 1.
Betrayal number 1, jobs.
Yeah. Betrayal number 1, jobs.
Okay. Alright. I feel like I always look like such a freaking mess on this shit. Hey guys, Megan Lynn here. What's up, Spiritual OG? How is everybody? I hope that your week's going well. I have Aries on the assist today. So sorry if I'm talking probably more to her than I will be talking to you, but I have had everybody and their mother reaching out to me about Aquarians, how we deal with betrayal, and it's kind of really funny because a lot of us have more knowledge, or we were talking about the why.
Yeah.
I always ask the why in a situation so that I get more information. So people don't realize when they cross us, we have more information than they do. So thank you, likes, comments, shares, support, anything like that. I just wanted to speak to that, how we deal with betrayal. And y'all, it's kind of funny because it's really funny, you guys, because Aquarians are like, people think sometimes they assume that we're stupid or we're not paying attention. We're actually really intuitive, and we do pay a lot of attention to what's going on in the background. So I wanted to talk today about, I'm going to do a whole betrayal series. It's going to be about jobs, friends. What else did we think of?
Jobs, friends, well, co-workers.
And co-workers, yeah.
Co-workers. Okay. Family, all of that. We're just going to get into it.
Okay. So I'm going to talk.
We'll have a few of them.
Yeah. So if you guys want to drop comments about what you want to hear about, because a lot of you seem very interested in how Aquarians, because to be honest, we're not very vengeful. We like to, if there's negative energy or something like that, we like to leave it the way that it is. So I'm just going to tell a story about one time I was betrayed at a job. Noobs, stop it. One time I was betrayed at a job. This has happened to me at every single job. Aquarius tends to have an air of confidence. I'm sorry, bichachas. That's just how it is. Like, we're typically good at whatever we do because we care about people and we care about the success of whatever project we're working on. So, again, I'm just going to get into it. So, Aries is probably going to ask some questions, but that's why you're here. Yep. So, anyway, so I started opening a wedding venue. So I have been certified in bridal consulting. Noobs. I've been certified in bridal consulting. At this time, I was actually refurbishing furniture. So I went to this property. It was freaking gorgeous, you guys. It was gorgeous. We went to this property literally to pick up a table. And I just love refurbishing furniture or whatever. And so I would go on Craigslist and whatever, find furniture, and then I just like redo it. So I ended up going to this property, and this house was freaking gorgeous. Y'all, when you walk into the property, it's like her house on the outside. It's this huge lawn.
Well, wait, so explain. This is the lady that you were working with in the wedding venue industry.
No, this is, so I ended up working for her.
Okay.
After the fact.
You went to the house and then.
I went to just pick up a table.
Okay.
Yeah. So I walked into the house. It was beautiful. You walk through the house. There's this huge lawn, gazebo, whatever. There's a guest house in the back. When you go to the right, there's this tented area and then a patio off of it and then a rose garden. And then off of that, yeah, it was really pretty. So, and then off of that, there was about probably 2 acres of land. And so when I walk into the back of the property to look at the table, I noticed there was all these people working. They were tearing up the garden, things like that. I was like, okay, what are you guys doing here? And she's like, oh, I'm trying to create like a venue area, a wedding venue area. And I was like, oh, and she's like, yeah, but I'm looking mostly into weddings and I need a bridal consultant. And I was like, dude, that's like what I do, which is weird. It's kismet. That's what happens with me a lot of the time is I run into people like this. So I was like, yeah, that's what I do. And she's like, let's have a meeting. We'll have a business meeting at the Hyatt. So we ended up having a business meeting at the Hyatt. We went to the bridal show here in Phoenix. And she's like, okay, I want to hire you. Let's start in a month or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I will quit my job in a month and then I'll come work for you. So I started out, my first day, I came out, y'all, it was more like manual labor than anything. I'm really blessed that she did teach me a lot about painting. I literally, you guys, I was there to be a bridal consultant. I helped build that whole property up. So I painted everything, I refurbished everything, what have you. And then I was in charge of all the social media. So I created all the social media for that property, which is kind of funny because she had issues with her servers and stuff like that from like old businesses. So she had like an office in the back, an office to the left, and she had all these servers she couldn't access. So again, I'm working, whatever. I was there sun up to sundown. It was a very ranch lifestyle. So
you built the venue.
yes.
And then you fixed her server issue.
No.
You fixed the online
I created all the social media platforms for it.
So you did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To try to like promote it.
Right.
And so it was kind of weird because she would come at me and she'd be like, okay, well, I need electrical work and I need IT issues fixed. Y'all, if you don't know me, I blow up electronics. Like, I don't do any of that. My boyfriend at the time, Pisces, he was like, I forget what he was doing at the time. I think he was just doing... I got him back into college and stuff like that. He was going for IT because he was just like naturally good at it. Mm-hmm. But he's like, oh yeah, I can like fix all those IT issues for her. I can rebuild all the servers. Right. He was like really, really smart, y'all. Like he really was. And then she's like, oh yeah, I also need like electrical issues fixed. And I'm like, yeah, he does that too. So she's like, okay, I'm going to hire him. He's coming on in.
And so at this point, because you were excited on the new job and everything that you were doing, you didn't see that she was taking advantage of you at that point?
She wasn't, because she was paying me, so.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
She was paying me.
As long as she was paying you, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there was no issue, like,
at
coming
that point,
yeah, like I was a commodity.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so Pisces came on with me. It was really cool. We would, like, drive to work together and stuff like that, and he was getting paid, and he came in, and like Pisces could literally MacGyver anything, like anything that you need fixed he could figure out. So
with a paper clip and a gum wrapper.
Exactly.
Nice.
MacGyver.
I like it.
Yeah. So he was coming in, he was redoing everything. I was in charge of everything, so nobody could. I was networking with vendors. I was getting them for the grand opening because we were planning a grand opening. And I was like, hey, I have connections with the radio station. I could have gotten us on TV to like promote this business. And that's kind of like the weird thing that kind of set me off, was I would offer those kind of things to her because I had the ability. And she would say stuff like, oh no, I don't want to like publicize this. Oh no, this, that, or the other. I'm like, okay, I don't understand all this investment that you're putting in your property right now. You want to start booking, you want to make money. Like, we need to publicize this and send out invites to, also what you should also do is send out invites to other event venues so that they can come over. Yes. So anyway, she was hesitant. I'm like, you're my boss, whatever you want to do, let's do that. That's fine. I end up coordinating this entire thing. So it comes to the night of the grand opening. Now, she was very weird and like particular about like weird things, like little things. She wouldn't just like keep her hands out of anything, which if you're gonna just micromanage me, like, then why don't you freaking do it? Like, you do it if you're gonna micromanage me. But she was an extreme micromanager. Pisces girls, y'all are weird. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to compartmentalize you, but y'all are weird. Aries was like, don't put everybody in a box, but I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry.
I did say that in your defense. I did say that.
So, everyone that I've ever met has been really weird. So, I'm getting everything together. We have the grand opening. She made me do like weird florals in a weird way. Like, I did custom florals so that we could reuse them for other events, or so that people could come do like walkthroughs and things like that if they were looking for their.
And see the different florals.
Yeah.
Right. Which is what a venue should have.
Yeah. So she made me like make them all, which was way more expensive than the way that I would have done it.
Right.
But whatever, it's your money. I don't care. She was an heiress. So
yeah.
She basically like people who are born with money have no like concept of like what it is to actually like work. No, and that was kind of weird. So anyway, I get to the venue at like 5 a.m. I'm there working all day. I was in charge of all the drapery, everything, literally everything, you guys. I was in charge of setting it all up, making it look like a wedding venue. And then all the vendors showed up and none of them would even talk to her. Like, they could not handle her because she was so freaking crazy. So I was like the buffer between all that. And then she comes to me and she's like, hey, I have this other like bridal consultant here I want to introduce you to. And I was like, okay, I'm like not intimidated by it. And she's like, yeah, I figured you guys could like work together, which was weird because I kind of had an inkling for some reason that she was trying to like replace me. I don't know what it was, but I still liked her enough. And Shelly's and Sherry's, y'all, I don't like talking to Shelly's or Sherry's. I'm sorry. Like, I cannot handle it because they're always bad news. So her name was Shelly. My boss's name was Sherry.
Oh, God, that's a double whammy. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's true. So, anyway, so she introduces me to her. And she was cool enough, but it took a weird turn because intuitively I kind of picked up on, maybe she's trying to like incorporate her more because she had more experience in like resorts and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. As long as I'm still keeping a job, I don't care. But I'm the one who created all this stuff here. So we had the grand opening. It was amazing, you guys. We had DJ, we had caterers, bakeries that were there.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just like a huge promotion kind of thing. And then we had a magician. Y'all, magicians are amazing at parties. It sounds ridiculous and kind of stupid, but it's so freaking fun. So we had that. Everybody had champagne, whatever. We end the night at 9 o'clock. It was about 9, I think. And then we're like, well, why don't we just go outside and like enjoy this? Now, Sherry was the type of person.
No, everyone's left at this point.
Everybody's left at this point.
Yes. Okay. So
yeah.
It's just everyone that was involved initially is there at this point. Okay.
Yeah, which Sherry and Shelly didn't do jack shit, you guys. Like, I'm sorry, they didn't do jack shit.
Right.
Like, she would sit in the room on her computer. Now, Sherry was the type of person that when she had a drink, she could go one of two ways. I don't like that. She could go one of two ways. So she would do like really messed up stuff to her friends and stuff like that, haul herself up in her room, get on the computer, whatever, all day while we're working outside. So we're all like, hey, let's enjoy this. We have a beautiful setting. Like, we're kind of like celebrating. We all go out for like champagne and we're sitting outside, we're eating, because if y'all have never done events, you don't get to eat all day.
I have.
You ate all day?
No, I've done events and you don't get to eat until like midnight sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So we're sitting there and we're all in this huge oval table. and we're just sitting around talking, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what it is, you guys. I don't know if that's an Aquarian thing or just a me thing. The focus usually comes on me for whatever reason. We were all bullshitting, laughing, whatever. All of a sudden, my boss directs all her attention and her energy on me. And she just like hones in on me. We're not talking about anything remotely serious. And she just hones in on me. And she's like, oh, Megan, I can tell that you've been hurt. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this? Like, and I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't know what she was referring to, whether it was relationships or not. I had no idea. And she's like,
because you didn't even know her, really.
No, I mean, no, we had like a really close relationship, but she honestly just hones in on me just to instigate almost. And I'm like, okay, this is sherry drinking, whatever.
Yeah.
And so she hones in on me. I'm like, no, and I'm trying to like diffuse the situation. Meanwhile, my boyfriend, Pisces, he's like, okay, this is kind of taking like a weird turn. Like, I don't understand why she's like instigating with you right now. And she just kept on at it, you guys. Like, oh, trying to hit some sort of like soft spot that I had that wasn't there regarding whatever she was talking about. So I was just like, he was like, okay, we need to go. I'm like, okay. And she starts bawling. Y'all, how does the instigator get to bawl? Like, I don't understand. How do you get to just sit there, create shit, and then be an asshole, and then start bawling like you're like the victim? Like, I didn't do anything to you. So I'm like, okay, Pisces, let's go. We go into the office. I get my stuff. I collected all my stuff that I brought that day. And I come back out to the table. And I'm like, hey, I want my check. Whatever. We want our money. And then she starts bawling even harder. She's like, Megan, what is it with you and money? Why is it always about money with you? And I was like,
God.
yeah, like, what is that shit?
What is that?
It's always about money. And I was like, no, it's not about money. I really thought like I had a future here. This was like a good opportunity, I feel like, for me. I was really excited for it. And then you just kind of stomped all over it. So at this point, yes, it is about money. I would like to get my money and go. So we leave. So she writes us our check. Again, there were literal tears on the check. Like, she...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, like, it was so freaking stupid. We get back to the house.
What is that called? Tears of a clown? Oh, I'm sorry.
Crocodile tears.
Yeah, crocodile tears.
Yeah. And everybody's consoling her. I have no idea why. No idea why. We get back to the house and sitting there with Pisces. Pisces is like, dude, I can't believe that just happened after all the work that you've done for her, this, that, or the other. So he goes, okay. He's like, let me make you a drink. Because I'm like, I highly doubt I'm going back to that job. I highly doubt, like, I don't know whatever her ish was. And we're sitting there and we're having a beer because I'm really upset. Okay, I was really upset because I'd put so much work in.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there and Pisces just starts smirking at me. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you smirking at? Jets, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless America.
Okay, Trump. Jesus, you can't freaking talk with those things. So anyway, Pisces starts smirking at me. There's always two.
There's going to be a third one now.
Oh. Sorry, guys.
Holla.
Holler servicemen.
Sorry, we live by Air Force Base.
So Pisces starts smirking at me, and I'm like, what, Pisces? Like, what do you
have? Yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you smirking about? And he like leans in and he's like, Megan, he's like, do you know what we have? And I was like, Pisces, for y'all, like, I really appreciate you for crossing boundaries because I don't do it and y'all can do it for me. And I'll just like like turn a blind eye to it and be like, if you want to click, I'll let it go. So he goes, Megan, and so we all had folders at work, so to keep all of our stuff in. His folder had all the information to her email, to her domain, to her LLC. That LLC she can never get back. And he's like, should we do something with this? And I'm like, Pisces, you know, like, I'm not like that. I'm not a vengeful type of person. I'm really not. And he goes, well, and so after about like an hour, I thought about it and I was like, well, let's just see. Like, let's
see what she's doing.
Yeah.
I would have been curious myself.
Yeah.
I would have been curious at that point. After her pulling that, yeah, I would have.
It was so weird.
You have something to hide.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiding something. And that's why you're lashing out at someone who has done your entire job for you.
Yep.
Okay, go on. It was cover up. Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, well, pull up her email.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, let's just pull up the email. Let's just see. Can you guys shut up? Like, it's so weird. Like, stop. And so he's like, okay. So he pulls up her email. Y'all, I literally watched all her correspondence between her assistant, the new girl, Shelly, and then she was essentially saying, this is how we're going to fix the Megan problem. I'm like, the Megan problem? I never had a problem with you.
Never had a problem.
Nope. I was basically undying worker for you.
Right.
And
right.
so she was like, how to fix the Megan problem, this, that, or the other, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? And I'm so glad that I did, because I left the room. I walked out for probably a good 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to be right back. I walked away, and then I had like a total Ishtar moment. And I'm like, Megan, do you want to be pious, or do you want to karma is Megan's name?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
I come back in the room and I go, delete it. And he's like, delete what? Like her email? And I was like, delete all of it. And he's like, are you kidding me? You want me to delete everything? And I was like, yep, delete it. I want her to be non-existent. I want, like, that's probably like one of the worst things I've ever done. But anyway, he's like, okay, well, if you're sure. So we deleted everything. The next morning, I got a call from her assistant. Her assistant's like, hey, Megan, you know, we can't access anything, any of their social media, freaking nothing. They could not access anything. And it wasn't just this business. It was all the stuff from the servers from her previous businesses. So, I'm sorry. Don't fuck with an Aquarius. I'm sorry. We will fuck you over.
Wow.
It was all the stuff from her previous businesses, and she can never get any of that back. So he deletes it, and I'm like, cool, whatever.
Yeah, she didn't have pencil paper records.
He had everything.
Yeah.
He had everything.
That's what happens when, Sorry about your luck.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I would not be sorry. If someone took advantage of me that way, sorry, not sorry. I wouldn't even...
No qualms. No, that's the weird thing to me, is because I always have qualms about doing bad things to people, but doing them to bad people doesn't make me feel so bad.
Yeah, I don't think I would feel bad.
Yeah. So we ended up deleting everything. Her assistant reached out to me, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, that's not really like my problem right now. Like, I have other shit to deal with.
Yeah.
So if you need anything, reach back out to me. And I blocked all their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So months go by. New job, obviously. And my ex was watching the news. Or no, a video went viral on the internet. So it went viral. And it was about this event venue that got shut down.
No.
Got shut down because apparently, so the whole weird feeling that I was having was like, why don't you want to like publicize this? And why are you like weird about?
Yeah, I was going to get back to that. Okay, so this is interesting now. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm interesting sometimes.
No, yeah, I'm just saying it's interesting because in the beginning she didn't want you to go viral. She didn't want to do radio. She didn't want to do TV. There's a reason for that. You're doing this stuff under the table.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right. So what
to
happened?
avoid taxes and this, that, and the other.
Yeah. So this video went viral on the internet, and it was essentially, it was the same freaking venue. She had been doing everything not to code with the city. So and that's why she didn't want me to publicize anything, is because she wasn't doing anything to code. And like having my boyfriend like MacGyver stuff is not the way to like do it. So they had 3 on your side there, and she had taken all these deposits from all these brides.
3 on your side is huge.
Yeah, it was 3 on your side.
Okay.
And she had taken all these deposits from these brides, and then they were basically saying like, now we can't have our dream wedding there. We can't have, and it was beautiful property, mind you.
Right.
But yeah, they were not up to code. It was a whole like thing on the internet, and I was like, this freaking bitch. This bitch, like, who do you think you are? Like, you're gonna like go under the radar. Like, people are gonna know.
Right.
Once you're putting in deposits. So they literally had video of her like handing out cash to people, and she ended up losing her estate. So
holla, holla.
Aquarius games. That's betrayal.
That's
at work.
Betrayal at work.
Betrayal at work.
And that's only one.
That's only
we
one.
Got more.
So yeah, people dealing with Aquariuses who think we're freaking dumb and like you can just abuse us and use us. No, that ain't a thing.
No. Give us feedback. We want to hear from you. I want to hear other issues that people have similar or, whatever. It's
betrayal stories, different signs. Yeah. I would appreciate that.
It's interesting to hear feedback and let's stay on this topic because it happens every day in every different venue of jobs.
Well, and people don't have like accountability.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When people don't have accountability, it brings up all these other things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't have, what's that feeling? We don't, when you get a feeling something's not right. You get that gut instinct.
Yeah.
Something's not right here.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, because
people aren't
good people, we want to continue doing good.
Yeah.
And it bites us in the ass.
Yeah.
So there's always a reason.
Well, in Aquarian Nation, I feel like it's happened a lot to us. So thank you. Likes, comments, shares, subscribes again, blah, blah, blah. All the normal shit that I say. I appreciate all your support and all your good comments, and we'll talk soon. Bye.